Hello everybody, welcome back to BareRose Garage. What are we doing today? Well, I'm got you out here in my little 85 little S10 Blazer. And there's a little topic going around about how to power shift. That's some fun stuff. So let me dive in here and show you the way that I was taught how to do it. Not only how I was able to do it, but how I was able to save all of my stuff and keep from breaking everything. So let's dive right on here and I'll show you how to not only power shift or speed shift, whichever way you want to call it, but not only how to do that, but how to save your stuff so you're not breaking as much. Here we go. All right, we got up here. I'll show you in here. Of course, this thing don't run because nothing I have runs. But if you watch my feet here, there's a little part that Uncle Tony's garage left out just a little bit. This is the key to everything. You'll notice I got my cons on. My cons are supreme. These are like racing shoes. That's why you see hot rodders wearing them. Anyway, okay, you're getting ready. You come up to the line. You want to do a burnout. You put it in first gear here. Take your foot with your toe and push it onto the gas there. And on your heel, push it on the brake. Lock that brake down. Give her some gas. Push the clutch in. Give her some gas with the toe of your foot, and you bring it up on RPM wherever, 3,000, 4,000, wherever you're going to bring it up to. You got it in gear. Ease that clutch out just a little bit. Now what you'll feel is the car will load up. You'll feel the rear end come up under tension and everything. It's acting like a cat ready to pounce. It just eases up and it's ready to go. What you're doing with that is every rear end has got a little bit of slack in it. Every gear in your transmission has got a little slack in it where the gears are. What you're doing there is you're preloading everything. So everything is locked up and ready to go, so there's no slack, so you don't shock load it. So you got her in first gear, roll that clutch out just a little bit, and you're holding it there with your heel on the brake. You load her up until she's ready. You can feel that clutch biting and ready to go. Then there's two ways to do it. Now what Uncle Tony was telling you to do was sidestep. I won't lie to you, sometimes I do sidestep. Sidestepping, you just drop your foot over and drop that clutch. But on hard pavement, what I'll do is I'll drop that clutch this way. I'll roll my toe off of it like that. It's a little softer hit, so you're not biting and grabbing things. And that's the main reason you'll tear your rear end up, you'll tear your transmission up, is that shock load. But if you roll that clutch off, like I said, right about like that, just roll your toe off this way. It's a softer hit than going straight off like that and just sidestepping it. So that's the first part of it. After I've dropped that clutch, you slip your foot right off of the brake. Just like that. Now you're going. You've launched and you're ready to go. Your foot's already in the position to come back up and you just toe that clutch. This foot on the gas never leaves the floor. That thing is planted to the floor. You come up. Now I prefer a ball shifter. I don't like a T-shifter, and by golly, I'll never use a pistol shifter for this reason. And it's another thing that'll save you a lot of breakage. You just hold that knob right on your middle finger, like this. Now when you're ready to shift, you're coming up into power band. This foot just flicks that clutch. Just flick it and drop it, just like that. Now the reason I only hold it with these three fingers is I'm not strong enough with these three fingers to jam that gear down in. If I'm muscled up with it and I do my power shift, I just bump that, I can tell right there that shifter's wanting to come off in my hand. And with these little T5s, they will. So that's how you do your first shift, first to second. Just hold it with that little finger right there. Bump it, drop it back. Just like Uncle Tony was saying, you follow through with it. Bring it all the way back. Slap that console, whatever you got to do. Follow through with it. Now on your upshift, just hold it right there with the palm of your hand, right there. just barely on the top of the shift knob. I'm ready to shift for third, the cross shift. You just bump that clutch and go in, but it's right here in the palm of my hand, so I'm not putting that extra force right there on that transmission. Now on these T5s, the biggest reason for that is just an aluminum casing that shifter's going down into, and there's a ball on the end of that shifter that holds it good and tight in there with a little itty bitty leg that comes down to your shift rods. If you get excited or muscled up, or you got a T-handle on there and you're grabbing that sucker, when you pull that back, that shifter's coming right out of that hole, and you're going to break the casing out, and it causes nasty, nasty problems. Then you're dropping a transmission and replacing all that stuff. Pain in the butt. So, and then when you're in third gear and you want to hit fourth, you just repeat the process for first to second. Just straight down like that, you slip it off. You're not applying any deadlocking force to that, so you don't break stuff. That saves everything. But the biggest one is that first setup. When you got that brake set, bring her up on RPM and just ease that clutch out just a little bit. You don't want to hold it there because you'll burn the clutch, but you're just preloading all of your drivetrain. Okay. Now doing it that way, I learned on a transmission a lot like this. And the car I was running, it had driveline slop in it like this in the rear end. That rear end was ready to come out. That rear end should have only lasted one run before it exploded. I actually ran that car for 2.5 years before it finally let loose. And that was the secret to it all. You have to preload it in order to get it to save it, even though that rear end was total junk and should have been changed the first time. But I got another 2.5 years out of it. So I hope that helps you get out there and get some metal hot. And go out there and just bang on them gears, and you will break stuff, because anytime you push a car like this, you're going to break things. But if you do this, well, maybe you can last another 2.5 years before you're in there trying to jig that transmission out of there. So I hope that helps you out there, and get out there and get some metal hot. And I'll catch you on the next one.